Welcome to episode 2 of my Big Bend trip. After I got through episode 1, I returned back to my trailer and I made myself lunch. I had a jar of hatch chilies and I wanted to try them out. I really enjoyed them. They were delicious. So good, so very good. After finishing my lunch, I head back into the park. One of the first things I see is a coyote. I honestly haven't done much research, so I wasn't sure what I was going to see when I pulled up to this overlook. I noticed the incredible round formation to my left, which I thought was really cool. But as I kept looking around, I noticed a far ridge off in the distance. I think you can see it here. Then I noticed that. I couldn't figure out what that was. So I head back on the road and I start driving and I see this. And I did not know what that strange formation was off to the right. And as I kept getting closer and closer, I eventually saw a sign, though it's not on the video. And what the sign said was that formation was called Mule's Ears. These are the Mule's Ears of Big Bend, so if you've ever heard of them, this is what they look like. As I continued to drive the road, I noticed all kinds of weird natural formations in the landscape. This is gypsum, I believe. And as it goes, I'm getting closer and closer to the bluff I saw in the distance. As I got closer to the bluff, I began to realize it wasn't necessarily just a bluff, but a gigantic wall of stone with a canyon cutting right through the middle of it. It's a canyon. And this canyon's name is Santa Elena. It is the most famous canyon in the Big Bend National Park, and it's known for its stunning cliffs and its river. It is definitely the premier thing to see in Big Bend National Park. So I decided, since I had the rest of the day, I would go and hike as far as I could hike into the Santa Elena Canyon. It's amazing. The cliffs are powerful. What I learned was, it's the Rio Grande. On the left is Mexico, and on the right is the United States. All that you're seeing here is this country of Mexico. This little portion is the United States. And to the right, you'll see the path that goes up the canyon wall so you can hike into the canyon. This is the beginning of the path. And now I'm on my hike to go inside the canyon. The entirety of the trail runs along the Rio Grande. The trail always hugs the little space between the river and the rock wall. And here I'm getting to the cliff. I thought this was absolutely beautiful with the sun setting right below the wall. And this is the stairs, and this is the diminished river. Picture of it before 1900 and after the dams. Here you can see the effects of the diminished river. Here again, though a beautiful view, is a diminished river. And this is the trail that leads, once you reach to the top, down back to the river. In the distance you can see the boulder on the trail. Here I am getting a little bit closer to the boulder, and this is the boulder. It is gigantic, trying to get scale. These were weird little formations in the stone. It is stone on stone, that is not mud. And this is the beautiful Rio Grande coming through the canyon. I'm at the end of the trail, and I sat down to have my dinner because it was getting late in the day. I love my bologna sandwich. Because there was people around me, I didn't feel comfortable filming them. So instead of focusing on the river, I focused on myself having dinner. After I finished dinner, I walked back about the mile down the trail, and then I crossed the Rio Grande into Mexico. I was so proud of myself to be an international traveler that day with no passport. And here I am crossing back into the United States. First time I've ever crossed an international border with no passport, no border guards, just me, the water, and my stick. It was a nice experience. made me wax poetic a little bit about borders being artificial, but it did seem silly that this was an international border to me. It was an amazing day for me in Big Bend. The next episode will be my last in Big Bend, but to me, what is to come is the most memorable.